So I just came across this article about geofencing. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's actually really weird because not many people are talking about geofencing at all, but I think it's a really interesting concept, and especially when we talk about mobile marketing and new ways that brands are using smartphones to get people to be able to reach people in very specific ways. So the idea of geofencing, and this article talks about it being not as creepy as it once was perceived as. Basically, it kind of geolocates you, so your phone turns into a GPS, and whenever a certain setup at a retail store or whatever, whenever Banana Republic, for instance, detects my phone walking by their store, they can send me a notification saying that, drop in today and you get $25 off your purchase or something like that. The weird thing that I think is that can turn into a really spammy situation where I'm walking in the mall and every time I pass a new store, I'm getting a new message from stores that have absolutely nothing to do with what I would want to get as a purchaser. And I feel like that can become a really noisy situation for the consumer really quickly.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a fine line between geo-targeting as an effective communication tool and as too spammy, too creepy, too in your face. If you walk, as you said before, Shilpa, if you walk by every single store and you get a notification, you're not going to pay attention to those. So it's really going to come down to having a good profile of your customers and knowing when they want to be reached and what they're actually interested in. If you know that your customers are interested in a certain clothing brand and you happen to have a sale in that clothing brand and then they get the push notification, that's going to be much more effective than just getting bombarded with every single thing that's going on in a mall or in your store.
The issue then comes down to how do you get customers to opt into your service so you can send them notifications. Because I don't think that exactly what you guys said, it being spammy and creepy, walking through the mall, having your phone bing every time that you go by a store, I don't think that consumers are going to stand for that very long, and it's going to go to solely an opt-in function.
You know what would be interesting, though? If a third-party company created a platform, and for whatever reason I'm thinking Groupon, but hear me out. What would be interesting is if you had a third-party platform where you can profile each of the buyers that opt in. And so if I like a specific subset of stores, and if those stores are Banana Republic types or Apple Store types or Sephora types or whatever it is, Williams-Sonoma, for instance, if I like those types of stores and I identify those interests in my profile, now any brand can go in and send me geo-targeted messages, based on my preferences. So that could be really interesting because now you could have a situation where I'm at J. Crew in the mall and I get a message from Banana Republic that I can get $25 off my purchase today if I shop at Banana. And I can see that being actually really interesting, but I'm still not sure what the consumer response to that would be.
I read a blog post earlier about how this is a really good product for brands that you're passionate about, which really falls into line with luxury brands. And a lot of the brands that you just mentioned fall somewhere in there, Apple, Williams-Sonoma, things like that. So if you're really passionate about a brand and you use this technology to offer something like an exclusive deal to people who opt in, then I think you're really getting somewhere with it.
Absolutely, because that's going to give people an incentive to really want to join this service. And it's just like Groupon. Usually you don't want to get spammy emails from people and you don't want to receive emails from all these companies that you've never heard of. But when you sign up for Groupon, you want to hear things from them and you want to get these exclusive deals. And by offering that to people, you're really monetizing your time and you're monetizing your phone.
Once it's something that the consumer is interested in, I can really see this taking off, and I can see it as an opt-in where it's very, very specific to what the individual is doing.